Have you ever wondered if everything you've heard about the food and wine in Europe is true?
Everything looks the same, tomato, bread, but what is in them could not be any more different. So once you've seen it, you really cannot see it.
Hi, I'm Cliff.
And I'm Cheryl.
And this is Closer to Happy.
This is where we share what it's really like to start over in Spain.
And today we're diving into something near and dear to our hearts, what we put in our bodies. Stick around to the end because we're going to talk about the two food groups that mean the most to me, bread and wine. Okay, let's start with the basics. Fruits and vegetables. In Spain, most farms are smaller, family-run, and they use fewer chemicals.
Yeah, there are like over 200 chemicals that are commonly used in farming in the US that are banned in the EU. That is disgusting.
It's disgusting for the US.
It's
actually
disgusting
really good
for the
here.
US. It's great for us here, but our family's there, and that makes us really worried.
Glyphosate, for example, is one of the most common herbicides used in the US, but here it's tightly restricted.
I did a blood panel a couple of years ago, and I had sky-high amount of glyphosate, and I just have to tell you, we ate almost strictly
All organic.
We did go out a lot, and it's in everything around you. And genetically modified crops, here they're almost non-existent, whereas in the US, they're in most processed foods. And they don't have to put anything about that on the label in the US.
The EU follows the precautionary principle, ban until proven safe, while the US assumes products are safe until proven otherwise.
I mean, I guess what they do is they wait until enough people get really sick or die from the chemicals. I don't think that's even not a joke, right? I think that that's how they operate. If enough people get sick or die from the chemicals, they may restrict it. That's a horrific way to protect your people.
The difference in meat is huge. In the EU, you will not see labels like no hormones added because hormones are banned altogether.
And you won't see antibiotic-free plastered on the packaging because they're only allowed to use antibiotics here when they're sick animals.
Right.
You don't use it prophylactically, and that's a huge difference. I mean, we know that much exposure to antibiotics isn't good.
No.
It's bad.
In the US, certain growth promoters like ractopamine are still being used in pork production. In the EU, they're banned.
And the meat itself is different. It really tastes different. Like it tastes better. I mean, some of it I don't like as much. Usually in the US, you have no idea where your meat came from.
I was just thinking about that Portlandia episode where the people want to know where the chicken came from and they end up in a cult for 5 years.
So we were just ordering, and we just wanted to make sure that the animals were being ethically treated, and more importantly, that the farmers were like ethical people. It's just important to us.
Of course.
Anyway, I think the thing is that you have to get used to, when you're in any country, you have to get used to some of the differences in the tastes. We have found meats here that we love, and we feel way better knowing that they're being raised as safe as they can be.
Yeah.
People sometimes assume that Europe doesn't have industrial farming, but it does.
But the rules here are completely different. Now, Spain is the biggest pork producer in all of the EU, but hormones are banned. Antibiotics are banned unless absolutely necessary. And animal welfare is built into the laws.
Right.
So vastly different than US industrial farming, where there are very few regulations around how animals are treated, animals are processed, and the way they're raised. So
it's not perfect, but it's more transparent than in the US, so you really know what you're getting and what's in it and how it was raised. And that way you can buy meat from like a local butcher and you kind of know what you're getting and you can feel good about it.
that's the part I love. It's not about never eating meat. It's about respecting the food that you eat.
Here's where it gets really wild, the ingredient list.
Yeah. In Spain, the ingredient list on packaged foods might have 5 or 6 ingredients listed. In the US, it is not uncommon to have, maybe 30 ingredients. And you really kind of need a degree in chemistry to understand what they are.
Yep.
You have no idea what you're putting in your body. And that's not good. That is not a good thing.
Artificial dyes like red number 40, yellow number 5, and yellow number 6 are super common, but I don't think any of us want to eat those.
No, and those are really used a lot, like in cereals
Yeah.
and snack foods.
Snack foods,
The
yeah.
things your kids are eating, like that's terrible. It's just terrible.
But here's the problem. The ingredient labels in the US oftentimes leave things out.
They do.
They're not obligated to say everything that's in these products that you're eating. And then there's bread, which is a story unto itself.
Delicious, delicious bread. We have met so many people here who have gluten intolerance in the US and can't eat bread or bread products
Yep.
that are totally fine here,
Including our daughter.
including our daughter.
And we've traveled for years. We've come here and noticed that. And it feels like, I don't think that's an urban legend. I think it actually affects people differently.
I think so. The only thing that I think is an urban legend is you can eat as many croissants as you want and not gain weight.
Yeah, we proved that wrong.
Yeah,
We proved
that's
that
not
wrong.
true. It's unfortunately not true.
It's not magic. It's the wheat, it's the process, it's the flour. And I think they just make it locally with love, and they don't have any preservatives in it. So the bread goes stale really fast, but that means you're getting really fresh bread every day.
In Spain, most bread has just 4 ingredients: flour, water, yeast, and salt, and a much longer fermentation process, which breaks down the gluten and makes it much easier to digest.
Right. Meanwhile, in the US, bread has about 20 or 30 different ingredients. Dough conditioners, preservatives, bleaching agents, and it's fermented for less than an hour.
And then let's go back to glyphosate, which
Do we have to?
I think we have to. In the US, it's very often sprayed on the wheat right before harvest.
Right.
And then, absorbed in all of our bodies. That is not allowed here, and it shouldn't be allowed anywhere. And I don't care what you say, Monsanto.
This episode is not sponsored by Monsanto.
It definitely isn't.
It's one of those small details that changes everything about how your bread tastes and feels inside of you.
Yeah, and I think it's just proof that the simpler the ingredients, the better things are for you, and the better they taste.
That is true, and you always wonder, is simpler better? But I think America has an awful lot of people to feed, more than Spain. So, no,
No, you cannot defend that.
No. Okay.
No.
Let's get real.
No, it's
What it
bad.
is America has less restrictions, and it's kind of about the profit margin more than it is about the health of the people eating it. That's the bottom line. We said it out loud. Sorry.
It's true.
Yeah, that is true. And then there's wine, which is practically a food group.
Spain's laws, is it terrible?
No.
Did you open a good bottle of wine?
Yeah.
Oh, you opened a good bottle?
I did. Yeah. I'm not going to just do props.
Okay, I thought it was a prop.
No, you should taste it. It's pretty good.
Okay, wait, hold on.
And by the way, this wine is, I think it's about $10, and it's actually really good wine. Right? Not bad.
Not bad.
And less junk in it.
Yeah, Spain's wine laws are really strict. Fewer sulfites, fewer additives, lower sugar. And honestly, it makes me feel so much better. It was really the wine, even
Yeah.
though we come from California, land of good wine.
We love our wine in California, yay Napa.
Yeah.
But you're right. When you drank red wine in the U.S., you felt
I
terrible
started
the
feeling
next day.
really, really bad. It got to the point where I couldn't drink red wine at all, really any wine in the U.S. And, that's sad.
This is anecdotal. We don't really know why, but we are assuming that it's what they put into the wines here doesn't affect her body as much as it does.
I think it's what they don't put in their
it's what they
wines
don't
here.
put in. Yeah,
it's
that
what
makes
they
sense.
don't put in their wines here. I think that's all the difference. So,
Right.
yes, I think it's a big difference. I mean, I know I have a lot of friends who are of a certain age that have had the same experience, and they're fun when they drink wine here. So, do with that what you will.
Yeah, you can come here and drink wine and eat bread and be okay. What other excuse do you need to move to Spain?
Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly.
And culturally, it's different here too. Wine isn't about indulgence. It's about connection. It's part of a meal. And it's not about coping with stress.
Right. I think just like everything here, it's really about balance. And that's what makes living in Spain just, better.
Wine in Spain reflects a broader food philosophy. Fewer additives, more integrity, and joy in moderation.
Cheers. We didn't move here because of the food. Well, maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
Maybe
and the
more
wine,
than
a little bit.
Yeah. But I think it's the clearest reflection of what a more balanced life looks like.
Less processing, fewer shortcuts, and more attention to detail.
It makes you think about what's considered normal at home and if that version of normal is serving us.
It's not about fear or judgment. It's really just about awareness.
I'm judging.
You really are judgy.
Because getting closer to happy isn't really about where you live. It's really about what you feed yourself, your family, and your life.
Closer to healthy.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Ciao.
Ciao.